Life can be incredibly hard. You might be facing a trial right now that feels unbearable. Maybe you're wrestling with grief, illness, or loss. Perhaps you feel lost and alone, questioning everything you thought you knew. Your heart aches, and you're searching for answers. You just want the pain to stop. You're not alone in this. Throughout history, people have faced unimaginable suffering. And in the midst of their pain, they've asked the same questions. Why me? What is the purpose of all this? These are ancient questions, echoing through generations. The Bible itself wrestles with these very questions in the story of Job. In the depths of your pain, it can feel like God has forgotten you, but He hasn't. He sees your tears, He hears your cries, and He understands your pain more than you could ever know. Remember, even in the silence, God is working. The story of Job reminds us of this very truth. Job, a righteous and blameless man, experiences unimaginable suffering. He loses everything: his wealth, his family, his health, leaving him in utter despair. Yet even in his darkest hour, God never abandons him. Job was a good man. He was known far and wide for his integrity and kindness. People in his community looked up to him, not just for his wealth, but for his unwavering faith and generosity. Job's life was a beacon of hope and righteousness. He was blessed with wealth, a loving family, and a deep faith in God. His home was filled with laughter and joy, and his fields were abundant with crops. Job's children were his pride and joy, and he often prayed for their well-being, offering sacrifices on their behalf. Job's faith was the cornerstone of his life. Every morning, he would rise early to pray, seeking guidance and strength from the Almighty. His relationship with God was intimate and profound, a source of comfort and wisdom. His life was a testament to his righteousness. Then, tragedy struck. In a series of devastating events, Job lost his livestock, his servants, and even his beloved children. The once vibrant and joyful home was now filled with silence and sorrow. He lost everything he held dear. His wealth vanished, his children were gone, and his health deteriorated. Job found himself sitting in ashes, scraping his painful sores with a piece of broken pottery. The man who once had everything was now left with nothing. His world came crashing down around him. The weight of his grief was unbearable, and he cried out in anguish. Job's heart was shattered, and he struggled to understand why such calamity had befallen him. Job's friends, convinced that suffering was a punishment for sin, offered him empty words and hurtful accusations. They insisted that Job must have done something wrong to deserve such suffering. Their words, instead of comforting him, only added to his pain. They couldn't understand why a righteous man like Job would endure such pain. Their limited perspective led them to believe that suffering was always a direct result of wrongdoing. They failed to see the bigger picture, the divine plan that was beyond human comprehension. But Job refused to curse God. Despite his immense suffering, he held on to his faith. He questioned, he lamented, but he never turned his back on the Almighty. Job's faith was tested to its limits, yet he remained steadfast. He clung to his faith, even as his heart broke. In his darkest moments, Job continued to seek God's presence. His prayers were filled with tears and pleas for understanding, but he never lost hope in God's goodness. Finally, God spoke to Job. In a whirlwind, the Almighty addressed him, not with answers, but with questions that revealed the vastness of his wisdom and power. God reminded Job of the wonders of creation, the mysteries of the universe that were beyond human understanding. He didn't offer explanations or easy answers. Instead, he challenged Job to trust in his divine plan. God's words were a reminder that his ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Instead, he reminded Job of his power and sovereignty. The storm in Job's life was a part of a greater narrative, one that Job could not fully grasp. But in the midst of his suffering, Job found solace in the knowledge that God was in control. He reminded Job that his ways are higher than our ways. Job, in his humility, accepted that there were things beyond his understanding. He realized that his suffering had a purpose, even if it was not immediately clear to him. Job, humbled and in awe of God's majesty, found peace in surrendering his pain and questions to the Almighty. He let go of his need for answers and embraced the mystery of God's plan. In his surrender, Job found a profound sense of peace and acceptance. God never explained why Job suffered, but he restored him. Job's fortunes were returned, and he was blessed with even greater prosperity than before. His family grew, and his home was once again filled with laughter and joy. Job's story reminds us that God sees our suffering, hears our cries, and in his time, he redeems. It is a testament to the power of faith and the resilience of the human spirit. Even in our darkest moments there is hope, and through our trials we can find a deeper connection with the divine. Finding light in the darkness. In the midst of our darkest moments, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, there is always a glimmer of hope. This light, though sometimes faint, can guide us through the most challenging times. Job's story offers powerful lessons for us today. His journey through immense suffering and unwavering faith serves as a beacon for those who feel lost and overwhelmed. It shows us that even in the face of unimaginable pain, there is a path forward. It reminds us that suffering is a part of life, even for the righteous. No one is immune to hardship, and sometimes the most devout among us face the greatest trials. Yet, it is through these trials that our true strength and character are revealed. It teaches us that even when we don't understand, God is still in control. In moments of confusion and despair, we must hold on to our faith, trusting that there is a greater plan at work, even if it is not immediately clear to us. He has a purpose, even in our pain. Every tear, every heartache, and every moment of sorrow is not in vain. They shape us, mold us, and prepare us for a future filled with promise and hope. Your suffering may not make sense right now. It may feel endless and insurmountable, but remember, it is only a chapter in your story, not the entire narrative. You may never know the reason why. Life's mysteries often remain unsolved, and the reasons behind our struggles may never be fully understood. But that doesn't mean they lack meaning or purpose. But you can trust that God is with you through it all. In every tear, in every moment of doubt, He is there, offering comfort and strength. Lean on Him and the support of those around you. He will use your pain for good, even if you can't see it yet. Hold on to hope, embrace faith, believe that brighter days are ahead, and that your current struggles are paving the way for future blessings. Know that you are not alone. In your darkest hours, there are those who care, who understand, and who are ready to support you. Reach out and let them in. Your story doesn't end in suffering, it is merely a chapter, and the pages yet to be written hold promise, joy, and fulfillment. There is healing, redemption, and purpose to be found, even in the darkest of times. Embrace the journey, trust in the process, and know that light will always find a way to break through the darkness. Your story matters. Your pain matters. Don't suffer in silence. Every experience, every tear, and every moment of joy or sorrow is a part of the beautiful tapestry of your life. It's important to acknowledge your feelings and understand that they are valid. You are not alone in this journey. Share your story with someone you trust, someone who will listen with an open heart and mind. It could be a friend who has always been there for you, or someone new who offers a fresh perspective. Opening up can be the first step towards healing. A friend, family member, or even a trusted colleague. Sometimes the act of sharing can lighten the burden you carry. It can bring you closer to those who care about you and help you see that you are not alone in your struggles. Pastor or counselor. These individuals are often trained to help you navigate through difficult times. They can provide guidance, support, and a safe space to express your feelings. Find comfort in community, knowing that there are people who genuinely care about your well-being. Surround yourself with people who will listen without judgment, who will offer support and encouragement. Being part of a supportive community can make a significant difference in your mental and emotional health. Who will offer support and encouragement? These connections can provide a sense of belonging and remind you that you are valued and loved. They can help you find the strength to face each day with hope and resilience. Remember, God never intended for you to walk through this life alone. He has placed people in your life who care and want to help you carry your burdens. Lean on them, and let their love and support be a source of strength for you. He has placed people in your life who care and want to help you carry your burdens. These relationships are a gift, meant to uplift and sustain you through the highs and lows of life. Cherish them, and allow them to be a part of your healing journey. Your story, though filled with pain, can be a source of hope for others. By sharing your experiences, you can inspire and encourage those who may be facing similar challenges. Your journey can be a beacon of light in someone else's darkness. By sharing your journey, you might just offer someone else the strength to keep going. Your words can provide comfort and reassurance, reminding others that they are not alone in their struggles. Together, we can create a community of support and understanding. Remember, even in the midst of suffering, there is purpose, there is hope, and there is God. Trust that your story has meaning and that your experiences can lead to growth and transformation. Embrace the journey, knowing that you are never truly alone.